Mississippi Attorney General Lynn Fitch released her legislative agenda for 2025 this week. In addition to reducing her budget by $1 million, Fitch is hoping lawmakers will look closely at her plan to protect children, the elderly, and consumers in the state. In a one-on-one interview, Maggie Wade talks with the Attorney General about her success so far and the work ahead for this year.
Securing justice is one of the areas Attorney General Lynn Fitch is focusing on for 2025's legislative agenda, including sextortion and tech crimes involving children. Part of the Walker-Montgomery bill helps to prosecute criminals, but another piece of that legislation is tied up in court.
The first piece of legislation passed allowing sextortion to allow us to prosecute for sextortion violations. The second part, we're in court because big tech stepped up and said, you know, we want to have profit over people. So we're fighting. We're going to win because it is the right thing to do to protect our children.
Fitch explains how she was able to cut the budget for 2025 by $1 million through work tracking down and prosecuting human traffickers.
We worked last year and the year before with our legislators, so there are fines and penalties that are being assessed for victims to have these monies to come back in to protect these human trafficking victims. We've gotten a number of dollars that have come in, so we're able to utilize those and cut our budget because we're collecting those dollars. If you're those predators, you're the ones out there being the predator of these victims, you now have to pay for it. And so those dollars are coming in. But you know, here's what we're doing with it, Maggie. We're turning around and we've got grants. We're giving it out to shelters. We're able to help those individuals. Actually, we're able to help the first child-only shelter of trafficking victims.
That shelter for child trafficking victims is located in Jackson. We also talked with the Attorney General about State Auditor Shad White's criticism of her in the book Mississippi Swindle and how she handled Mississippi's welfare scandal involving millions of taxpayer dollars that were misspent.
In this office, I'm charged with my team to offer official opinions. That is part of our responsibility. So we get in opinion requests, and my job is to interpret the questions when they come in. We've issued 100 opinions last year. I think they're very sound, very good, very correct, and it's an interpretation. So when we get those requests that come in, we absolutely answer those. And so that came in for that question about the audit, and we answered it just like we would any other opinion request. Here's the interpretation, and here's what our answer is.
She also shared her official opinion on whether White has the authority to hire a consultant to look at waste in state government. Fitch says under state law, White lacks the authority to conduct such a study.
That's correct. Clearly sets out the responsibility is to audit, and if there is any type of study like that, then the governor or the legislature must request it in writing of the auditor.
From the opioid epidemic to fighting the distribution of fentanyl, Fitch says her team is always on the front lines for the people of this state.
We have a fentanyl strike force that we've been working and training law enforcement across the state. We've done 2 strike force operations. I mean, collected 2 pill presses, 112 pounds of fentanyl powder, 76,000 fentanyl lace pills right here in the state of Mississippi. And that was just one operation. So they mean to bring it in. They're peddling death to our kids.
Fitch says last year we lost 257 Mississippians to fentanyl overdoses. In Jackson, Maggie Wade, 3 on your side.